Hey guys, what's going on? This is Kosi. Uh, this episode is going to be an audio only one because we were having trouble syncing up the audio to the video. I don't know what was going on, but there was like weird like lag spikes or whatever when it came to the audio side. So I just found it better just to straight up just upload the audio by itself, and plus it'd be a faster upload anyway. So you guys enjoy the episode. Everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Lazy Nerds podcast, also known as
Lazy N Kosi.
I like in the first. You guys are probably gonna see the first episode soon because we're probably gonna upload these back to back. But Aaron did a thing where he was like, and I laughed every time I was editing it. So, I guess I'm trying to think of the topics that I wanted to talk about. The one that I was gonna save for the podcast. They just announced today that they're making a sequel to Legend of Zelda. Breath of the Wild, like Legend of Zelda sequel. What? Like, that's crazy.
That could be so fast. Legend of Zelda, what?
Yeah. Sorry, I meant to say Breath of the Wild sequel. Yeah, they announced it's going to be a Hyrule Warriors sequel as well. And actually, it's not really a sequel; it's a prequel. So it's going to show you all the stuff that happened before Breath of the Wild. I still need to play that game because that game looks absolutely amazing. It looks beautiful. It looks great.
I think the only reason I stopped playing the game is because it doesn't hold your hand at all. So I was like, I don't know what the hell to do.
Oh, okay. That means I'd probably like it. He knows me. I'm a huge like FromSoft guy. I love like all of like the FromSoft stuff. I'm looking forward to like Elden Ring, the one that they're doing with George R.R. Martin. Even though I haven't seen like an episode of Game of Thrones, I read a book.
I've seen a couple episodes. Well, I've seen a couple seasons of Game of Thrones. I haven't been back to it though.
That was a series. I don't know. It looked like it was good, but it looked like it was like every episode was like, oh, something controversial is happening. I'm like, okay, like.
I don't know. I enjoyed it when I was watching it, but this far removed from it, I'm like, I don't think I care about going back.
I mean, from what I heard about the ending, I'm kind of happy I didn't get into it.
Oh, see, I don't even know the ending. I don't know if I will get into it or not, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I heard that people said that it was terrible. Like like that whole last season was just like.
I feel like most endings get that same rep though. But Breath of the Wild. I don't even know how many hours I put into it. Grab Switch and find out.
The Legend of Zelda game I played the most was Twilight Princess on Wii. I had like 50 hours in it, and I never beat it. I just didn't know what to do. I was kind of like, okay, I'm getting bored. Which is weird, because like, I played like a couple Legend of Zelda games, and like, I've enjoyed them. Mm-hmm. Like, I have Link to the Past, like, actually, like, in the box. Like, the SNES box. Actually, we should probably put it somewhere right here.
I got the collector's Wind Waker when they released it for the Wii U. Never played it.
Is it still sealed?
Technically. I only took the game out. That's it.
I was going to say, you might have some money right there.
I think last time I checked, it was like $200 or $300.
Damn, that's crazy.
For the figure.
Actually, there we go. Here's another good topic. What's the rarest game that you have in your collection?
Game?
Yeah.
Probably none, because I now turned into more of a collector when it comes to games. But back then when I was a kid, I just trade everything in so I can get new games. Because I'm not the type to replay games like talking about.
Respect. I think I have the bad habit of just only replaying games, because I play a game and go like, oh, this is good. And like, I'll be playing other stuff. I'm like, I sure wish I was playing that game I just replayed.
That's funny, because I just goes more into that hipster thing.
But I think another thing is that I gotta get out of the habit when I'm streaming games I know that I'm like decent at. Because like some people, they like seeing people fail because it's funny and they can relate to it. Like, oh, I'm bad at that game too. So it's just funny just to like relate to somebody in that type of way.
In that case, definitely check out my streams because I be failing. Last stream was nothing but a big ass flop.
Well, I mean, you destroyed me in Street Fighter 2. I couldn't DP at all with that controller. That was fucking me up so bad.
That was pretty tough.
Yeah. But I think the rarest game that I own is either Earthbound, or surprise, surprise, it's a Metal Gear game. It's a Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. It was like a crazy like more action packed remake of it for like the GameCube. It was done by Silicon Knights, which are the same guys who did that. It was like a really good like GameCube game. I forget what it's called. If I remember what it's called while I'm editing, I'll just put like a picture of I'll put a picture of it like right here somewhere.
If he doesn't, just put it in the comments if you remember.
Yeah, and then you can be like, "You fucking idiot."
The rarest collection game I wish I had, and at the time I was being cheap, and I was like, "Oh, I work at GameStop. I could pre-order anytime." Is the first Last of Us Collector's Edition.
Ooh, I'm pretty sure you can get some money off of that.
Yeah, Savage had one, and he didn't know what he had. He was like, "Yeah, I'll sell it to you for like $1,000." I was like, "Dude, go look this shit up on eBay." I think he ended up selling it to somebody for like $1,800, but they go for like $2,000 to $3,000 for that collector's edition.
Shit.
I didn't know he had that shit. He was like, "I'll sell it to you." I was like, "Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not gonna want to pay you half of what it costs. I'd rather you just get your I'd rather you just get the full bag for it, man. I want it, but
yeah, it's not that serious. I mean, to be honest with you, there's a lot of games that I like that I maybe one day like I would probably get the collector's editions of. When they come out. Like I was really thinking about getting that Tony Hawk 1 and 2.
Collector's edition for it?
Yeah, it came with a skateboard.
I would did that.
Yeah, it came with a deck. Yeah, it came with a deck. And the thing is that the pricing was absolutely fine because the game's $40. A deck, if you normally buy a deck from like a board shop or like online, a board's normally like $50 to $60. So like the game was like $100. So it was like you're literally getting the game and the board.
Yeah.
So
you could almost consider it a free game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. But
I would do that.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to get the game so we can play it online. Cause I'm surprisingly good at that game because I was playing with my friend Mario a day or two ago. We were absolutely destroying everybody like in our room. Like it was either him or me like winning like the stuff. He won most of them. He's much better than me at the game.
See, I thought I was good at the game back when the game came out. Then I went over to a friend's house.
He's in million point combos.
I'm trash at this.
I think that's how it was when I played. I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 for the first time when I went over to the fighting game casuals that we have here in the city. And like I was playing, I was like, wow, I'm actually really bad at this game.
Same thing happened to me with Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I went over to a friend's house. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not good at this.
Yeah. Because Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I feel like you have to be like a special type of person in order to play that game. Like,
I feel like you have to be a special type of person to play any 2D assist character fighter.
Yeah, like team fighters. Yeah, team fighters like that. Yeah, because then you have to like find out which assists work with certain people or which assists are just generally good. And because I mean, sometimes some characters are just a good assist characters and not good, like anchor characters or like straight up just like on one-on-one battle characters. So there's like so much stuff that goes into team fighters. It just gives me a headache, and like I'm just gonna stick with Marvel 2 and Skullgirls. I don't even play Skullgirls anymore. So
and if you know me as a person, if it's too tedious, I'm not gonna want to do it. Granted, I do all the screen printing and embroidery, and I do art and stuff. That doesn't feel tedious to me, but like whatever all that shit he just said, I'm like, man, I'm not about to lab all this crap.
Okay, let me go to the podcast topics I want to talk about. Oh, fads in video games. Yeah. So I remember maybe like
Did we even resolve the first one?
Did we? What was the first one?
First one was the Breath of the Wild remake.
Oh yeah. So I think I pretty much just eclipsed it all. Today is the 8th. I think today or yesterday they confirmed that they're making another Hyrule Warriors game. You know, I think it's done by the same guys who do Dynasty Warriors, Koei.
Makes sense.
Um,
Which once I knew what it was, I was like, I'm not interested in this. But there's somebody in our Discord that actually regularly streams it.
yeah.
And since I played Breath of the Wild, I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty cool with the characters and stuff that they throw at you in the waves. But I still don't know if it would be a game that I would play.
Yeah, I tried. I tried like that genre of video games, and I was like, I really want to like it, but same, it's just not my wave. So yeah, it's supposed to be.
Wave.
It's supposed to be like I said, a prequel to Breath of the Wild. So you find out how Link actually, I guess, was like in that tomb or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. So I guess from a story standpoint, still people can get something out of it if they don't want to play it, so they can just watch a walkthrough of it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple of games like that where you can watch a walkthrough of it and still get a satisfied result of playing it. Like personally, I love everything about the Yakuza series.
Yeah.
Except for the combat. I feel like the combat is just not there for me. I feel like it's a little sloppy. And I was happy to see a few people say, yeah, I agree. Because I was like, is there something wrong with me with this? Because like everything is great about this game.
Yep,
But
issue. He's like, this is not Tekken.
no, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be like Tekken. Because I play fighting games that aren't Tekken, and like games with combat that it's not like Tekken at all.
Wouldn't it have been great if it was like Tekken though?
Man, people been wanting Kiryu in Tekken for like years. They're like, put him in Tekken. And I was like, I mean, honestly, he fits the look. He's not plain looking, but like, you know, he's like a regular looking guy. He's like built as hell, and he uses like multiple styles of like, you know, fighting. So it's like, why not put Kiryu in there?
Because don't ask him for shit. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah. The director of Tekken has a famous shirt that says "Don't ask me for shit." And another thing I think it is because he's a Sega-owned property, and Sega and Namco don't really like each other because, you know, Virtua Fighter and Tekken. Because a lot of people who worked on Virtua Fighter ended up going and helping out with Tekken. Tekken was supposed to be like the cool, edgy version of Virtua Fighter. And I guess it worked because Tekken's like the best-selling like video fighting game franchise.
And a lot of people I feel like don't even know about Virtua Fighter, at least in this era.
Well, it's because the only one they dropped was Virtua Fighter 5, and like they haven't made anything since then. Virtua Fighter 5 is like almost hitting like 10 or 11 years old now.
Yeah, it was on PS3.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That was the last one. It was Virtua Fighter 5, and people have been asking for a Virtua Fighter 6 forever. It's gotten to the point where people use this thing called what's called Parsec. It helps you like play games online through the computer.
Yeah.
And I think some people have actually been able to get PS3 emulators to work and use it, and they use Parsec with it, and so you can play people online and do online tournaments.
That's some dedication.
Yeah, I mean, that's a sign of a good community because, you know, you still got like all like these 35-year-olds like still playing Third Strike. No disrespect to Third Strike or the community. I think Third Strike is the greatest Street Fighter game ever made. But, you know, there's this, you know, if people are willing to play your games for that long, obviously those games are doing something right. And that's why I kind of like Capcom, because Capcom kind of remasters like they think most of the time. There are a few exceptions.
We'll remake this pachinko machine. That's what we're gonna do.
But yeah, like I feel like Capcom remakes a lot of games that people want. Like there are, like I said, the few ones that they don't like. God Hand should definitely be remastered. People have been asking for a new Darkstalkers forever. Not my type of game, but it's got its fan base.
Two games I haven't played as a kid that I probably would pick up as an adult to try out to see what the hype is.
God Hand and God Hand is great. God Hand's one of my favorite video games ever.
I feel like God Hand might have been. I feel like it might have been out when I was working at GameStop, and I looked at the cover art a lot, and I was like,
yeah, the one with the guy punching through the dude's head. It's like through his mouth. You talking about that?
I don't know.
Because you like,
Didn't know.
yeah, I was gonna say, I was like 12, 13 in '06. So
Yeah, so I
yeah,
didn't
I was.
know. I think I still was in high school though, but
Wow, old man.
it is what it is. I can't change that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I was gonna say my brother was going into college around that time.
That might be your frame.
Drink tea.
It's cheap. It's bad for you, but it tastes okay.
Yeah, actually, my mouth is dry right now. I really need some water because of the damn tea. What else? What else can we talk about? Oh yeah, so fads in video games. So we were talking about this maybe like a week or two ago. I think no, actually before we started the podcast. So yeah, like a week or two ago. Yeah. And then we were talking about fads in video games, and like I had noticed that people were complaining so much about like first person shooters and now, battle royales, because battle royales are the big thing right now. People are complaining about this stuff, but they didn't realize that basically the '90s was just fighting games and platformers, and like it's just funny that nostalgia does such a thing to people's minds because they act like good. It's like, well, there's good games now with the genres that you're complaining about. There's very good first person shooters. There's good, battle royales. It's just that you were a kid back then, so you remember all the good ones like Crash, Mario, Sonic, Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Samurai Showdown.
Samurai Showdown.
Blah, blah, blah.
Samurai Showdown.
There's so many freaking games. Like I can't remember whose YouTube channel I fell upon. That was just and they just kept naming games. I'm like, God damn, I didn't know this many fighting games came out during like the SNES and stuff.
Yep, Street Fighter just basically opened the floodgates and everybody came in. I mean, the only people who really stood up to them were Midway and SNK.
Yeah, but I still want to play that broken ass Sailor Moon game.
Oh yeah, the SNES one, bro. That shit is so hype, bro. That thing is like, I think it's a great juxtaposition of that show. But I know that show gets dirty sometimes. Like that series, like they do like some fucked up stuff in that show sometimes. But like, yeah, it's just funny because you think Sailor Moon, and you're gonna get like a bunch of guys. Oh, there's some Sailor Moon bullshit, and they play the game and go like, holy shit, like this is like fucking brutal. Because I forget which one it is. It's like the tall one, like with the blonde hair. She can like grab people, and like there's no cooldown to a grab, so she can just go into another grab. I think it's like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think there's a crap ton of infinites. I feel like Jupiter. I think Jupiter is one of the.
Jupiter's the one with fire, right?
I have no clue.
Okay.
To say I watched some Sailor Moon as I grew up.
Same.
I don't know nothing about Sailor Moon.
I feel bad too because I'm always telling people, I'm like, yeah, Sailor Moon is good, and like I've watched it before and I enjoyed it, but like I never really finished it.
Yeah, I've watched episodes. I can't recall one episode I watched. The only thing I can really recall, and then it's just like the little sequence before when they transform. And that's like all I can really recall, and not even the more nudity parts. It's just them turning into the like Mario grabbing a star.
yeah, I got you. Sailor Moon S. That is the name of the Super Nintendo fighting game. I was like thinking of it while we were talking. There's a.
They should remaster that. That'd be dope.
Yeah, and keep all the bullshit in. No quality control. No, seriously, that's why people like it. Is because it's so broken. It's kind of like with Marvel too. Like Marvel 2 is not a well-made game. It's a fun game.
I only like Marvel 2 because of Jin. If I have to be quite honest.
I like Jin too. Jin is actually one of the characters I play in Marvel 2. My teams used to be like weird. Like I wouldn't pick like any of the X-Men. Like no, I used to play Iceman. Flight characters, no, because I didn't feel like learning how to use flight canceling in that game. I was like, nah, I'm good. But yeah. So getting back on
fads.
Yeah, fads. Yeah, like I said, it's just funny just seeing people complain about that stuff. And like you got to remember, like there were like bad platformers like back in the day, like like the Bubsy games, the Bubsy the Bobcat. If I've
heard of that one. Yeah, I think I've seen it too.
It's not good. And then the bunch of clones of like Street Fighter and all like the bad fighting games that came out back in the day. Did you know Jackie Chan had a fighting game? He had digitized sprites. It was digitized like actors.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, it's a Jackie Chan fighting game, and when you beat him, he doesn't like fall down. He just like falls down, gets up, and he says you're getting better because he can't. I guess he can't be knocked out completely. You just beat him.
That's not the way it should be. Should have Grandpa come out of the blue and be like, one more thing.
It's Uncle. It's Uncle.
Uncle. Jackie.
Jackie Chan Adventures is great. I really like the art direction in that show. You know,
if you go back and look at the art direction, have you looked at it recently?
Yeah, I've looked at it recently. I mean,
the
like
character designs look okay, but the backgrounds look trash.
Actually, fun fact: the guy who did the art direction for that also did the art direction for the Batman a couple years later. Yeah.
Okay.
Man, with the Batman, I thought the Batman was good, but when I found out it had more prime, I think primetime Emmy wins than the animated series, I was like, really? Like, I don't think the Batman's bad, but I mean, like, the animated series is like one of the greatest like cartoons ever made, one of the greatest animated series ever made, just in general.
It's funny how that happens with stuff that we grew up with.
Mm-hmm. And it's not like a nostalgia thing. Like, I own the Blu-rays. I went back and watched them. No, that stuff's just well written. Like, there's two series that I always say are great. Well, three is Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. I absolutely love that series. Batman the Animated Series and Justice League. Those are always my three favorite like animated series ever. Like, I still haven't watched anything that I've enjoyed as much as those. Like, while animated series kind of like at the end of it, it gets kind of at the end. The first few seasons, I think 4 or 5 seasons, but like the first like 2 or 3 seasons are absolutely great. Such great writing, great art direction, and all that. But with Justice League, I watched it when they had it on Netflix like a while back. They need to put it on HBO Max. They really do, because I'm really close to getting Justice League and Justice League Unlimited on Blu-ray and DVD. But I remember watching it like a couple years ago, I think when I was still in college, when they still had it on there, and looking at every episode, I was like, I still love every episode of that show. Yeah, that's my Star Trek. Everybody's like, oh, like I love everything from this, I love everything from that. That's the one where you could strap me up to a lie detector test, and if I was to tell you I didn't think it was the greatest animated show ever made, it would always come up as I was lying, because I really think it is the greatest animated show ever made. Yeah.
Does that make you more of a DC fan than Marvel?
Yeah, I would say in terms of if we're talking about like TV shows purely, DC is absolutely destroying them in TV shows, even to this day.
Yeah, and the animated movies too.
Yeah.
Then vice versa with the actual like live action movies
and the games.
Yeah, Marvel's is
Marvel's games are much better. I'm not gonna put Avengers into that because I haven't played it, but what I've seen of it didn't look.
I don't know. All I've seen is like the Hulk, so I don't even know. I didn't know there was an Avengers game coming out. Too busy grinding.
There was I think I told you about this, but I'm just gonna bring it up for the podcast sake. There's a clip that people have been showing like on Twitter and YouTube of like like there's one of Thor and one of Hulk where like they're going around. There's like a QuickTime event.
Yeah.
And with the QuickTime event, like it pauses like until you hit the button. So it's like, well, what's the point of having it in there? You might as well just play the fucking cutscene. Just make it a cutscene. And people are like,
It's definitely not quick.
Yeah, people are like, this is a legitimate flaw in this game, which is true. Like, if you don't think it's a flaw, you're obviously being a fanboy. So obviously the Marvel fanboys came out of nowhere and said, you guys are just finding shit to make fun of. It's like, no, man, like, just make it a cutscene if you're gonna have it designed like that.
Crystal Dynamics said, we didn't tell you it was a QuickTime event. Just because it's a QuickTime event and labeled QuickTime event and all other games like it, Don't mean that was a QuickTime event.
Yeah, and then somebody tried to say, oh, they did the same thing with Spider-Man, so what are you talking about? Spider-Man wasn't like that. With its QuickTime events, if you failed, you had to redo the QuickTime event. Like, I'm not a big fan of QuickTime events personally. Like, I just feel like you might as well just make it a cutscene. But,
you don't like all the Resident Evil 5 QuickTime events there were?
I don't like Resident Evil 5.
It's my first platinum, so it holds a special place in my heart just because of that.
Oh, no, then fair enough. Yeah, but I thought you were going to say Resident Evil 4, because I was going to say, well, Resident Evil 4, no, maybe.
I'm not going to even bring up 4. 4 is, like, critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
4 is one of those ones, like, I wish I can go back to play that.
Well...
I know I can.
Yeah, yeah, they put it on fucking everything.
Yeah.
But no,
just choose your damn console or PC. It's on the Switch, I think.
Yeah, they did put it on the Switch. I was actually thinking about buying it. But then I saw they had it for like $30.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'll wait.
I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here. This is the reason why I don't play my Switch as much, even though I think it's an absolutely great console, is like, it's a true thing called Switch tax. Mm-hmm. Like, you literally do have to pay more if you get something on Switch. Like, it's true.
I don't know. If I have completed more games, I probably would have bought it out of impulse. But when you see that I think it was $34.99. I was like, when you see that $34.99 and you look at the long, huge library of games you haven't completed on the newer gen consoles, not to mention last gen, the gen before that, you're like, I don't need to buy this. I've already beat it. I think I beat 4 more than once, and that's unusual for me.
Yeah, as much as I say I like to go back and play like video games, I don't beat them a lot. Like after I replay them, the only games I've beaten like consistently like a lot is Tony Hawk's Underground, Metal Gear Solid 3. I've beaten so many times it's ridiculous.
I think that's a newer fad in gaming. Not going back and beating games, because the reason why we used to go back and beat the shit out of games is because we were kids.
Yeah, we had nothing to do.
We had nothing to do. We had no disposable or I wouldn't even say disposable income. We had no income at all. So it's like, I'm not buying you a new game until Christmas. Well, I guess I better play this game inside and out. So.
Oh, going back on like the rarest game that you own too. There's a version of Metal Gear Solid 3 where the only difference between all the other ones is that the cover is red. Like, it's the same exact thing. It's like the thing of Snake saluting. I think there's like woods behind him and all that. No, like I said, literally the only difference between that and the other ones is that the cover is red, and that thing goes for ridiculous amounts of money.
Yeah, so
just because of the cover.
I was like, this is probably gonna be like mad expensive just for a color swap.
Yeah, it's. I think it goes for like a couple hundred. Yeah, like maybe like 3 or 4. I'm just like, it's not worth it, bro.
I wish I was a collector. I when I was working at GameStop, it made it very easy for me to be a collector. I was fresh out of high school, had disposable income. You get discounts working at GameStop.
Reminds me of my brother when he got the Halo 3 edition. We had the Master Chief head.
Mm-hmm. And you just get first dibs. It's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't pre-order this. The customer didn't come in 48 hours to get his shit. Hey, boss, set this aside. I'm buying it next paycheck or whatever.
That's how it was with
Best Buy?
Yeah, Best Buy. I did something like that. I did it for the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4.
Pip-Boy edition.
Yeah, I still have it.
I have mine too. It's like all scattered around in various different places. But yeah, I was on Amazon refreshing the shit out of that.
Nah, see, with me, I got lucky. It was just in the back of the Best Buy, and I was like, "Hey, can I buy this?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure," and I bought it.
I was in Walmart. They were talking about it, and then it was like, "It's going up for pre-order midnight." I was like, "You dirty son of a bitches."
Dude, there was a time where the Tekken 7 Collector's Edition, the one with the statue of Kazuya and Heihachi fighting, like that thing was like, there was like a pricing error on it, and like I think it went for like 100 and something. You can get it for like maybe like 50 or 60. Mm-hmm. And I should have bought it, man. Like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna wait, and then I waited, and then it went back into the regular price. So I'm like, fuck.
I've now learned for the ones that you really want,
Hurry up and buy
don't
them.
wait. Especially when you use Amazon, because Amazon don't even charge you until you ship it. They ship it out.
Yeah. I was gonna say, and if it's on Amazon, if you see it on Amazon, hurry up and buy it, because motherfuckers are scalping tickets like crazy.
Back live.
All right, we're back. I'm probably gonna do some editing around this. All right. So what were we talking about?
Oh, God, no. It's amazing how things just EMP your brain. Like, what the hell? Collector's editions.
Yeah, collector's editions. So
And you were talking about Best Buy, Fallout, and then we just ended at that. It was kind of resolved.
Well, I also wanted to talk about bad commercials. Remember that? I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, I'm gonna bring that back up.
I say you always want to talk about bad.
Yeah, because bad commercials are funny, man.
I've never met anybody that like has a stored up knowledge of bad commercials. Kosi has like a stored up knowledge and a playlist of bad commercials that he's like, look at this one.
Yeah, I just love it. I'm just thinking about me like, hey, check this out. Yeah, but I was supposed to show him. So this is one. I think I told you about it already, but just bring it up for the podcast. There's this one of Scottie Pippen from the Bulls at the sandwich shop I think it's like a chain of sandwich shops in Chicago called Mr. Submarine, and Scottie Pippen's he's a athlete, not an actor, so his acting isn't really good. So he's like, it's like. It starts out, Chicago's original submarine, Mr. And like, there's a submarine sandwich, there's a sub sandwich. Obviously, Scott Pippen's a tall guy. There's a submarine sandwich up to his head. He's like bouncing. He like bounces the basketball. He comes into the shot. He says, "This sandwich is a little too much for me, ladies. I could use your help." It's like the bull. It's like the bull chilies. I forget what they're called. I forget what whatever. But and then they show him, and then it cuts to him like going to a basket and like dunking it, and like the basketball turns into a submarine. This is a dissolve cut. It's a dissolve cut of him dunking it. And it's like from the top up. So, you see him dunk the ball, and then the ball becomes a submarine and falls to the ground. I don't know why. And like they show him just eating, and they go, "Hey, boy, this is a good sandwich."
I'm using my imagination to envision this.
I'm gonna show it to you.
And my imagination is not trash, but the information you're feeding my imagination is making this commercial sound very trash.
Yes, it is. It's very bad. I like bad commercials, man. They're just funny. It's just, especially the ones we get here, y'all. For everybody outside who lives outside of Louisiana, Baton Rouge. The commercials we get here for our local people are so terrible. Like that one with the fucking cars.
I was sitting there. I was just turning in my head. I was like, I wonder if he's talking about the guy that was singing the what was the address? The name of the place.
Yeah, bro. You know who's got like surprisingly good commercials? Atlanta, because they be busting like a whole ass rap with good production and all that. And it'd be like, the law offices of Murphy and Johnson. And you'd be like, that was an advertisement? Somebody made a meme about that. I was about to say, I thought I was the only one that thought that shit.
Like, this is not advertising. Yeah. I'm just dropping my mixtape.
I think that's just like a super like southeast, like southeast coast thing. Just to have like commercials like that. Because one time when we were in Orlando, I heard that shit in Godfrey's car. I was listening to that. I was listening to the thing.
I know which one you're talking about. Now I'm away from it. It's out of my head. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you're
like, this is actually like a well-produced like little song. Like, you can tell they got somebody with talent and he's rapping.
I'm hating myself because I can't remember this shit right now. And the only one I have is like the freecreditreport.com one. And I know it's not.
FREE. That spells free.
411 Pain.
That yeah, I think that's what it was called. Holy shit, that was it.
All you gotta do is say commercial in Orlando. I was like, I got you, fam. I know which one you talk about. 411 Pain is always.
I was gonna say, shit, you lived there for what, like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. So I and they switch it up every once in a while too. So
they be tricking people. They be like, "We're gonna drop some fire." They just need to say fucking and just drop a mixtape.
A 411 Pain mixtape.
They might as well. I mean, they have like the little jingles. Just make them like just extend them maybe by like a minute or so, where they repeat the verse maybe like 1 or 2 more times, and then just release a little mixtape. It's you can make it free, so it's easy advertisement. So people download it. They like the song. They like it. And then when they get hurt, they be like, oh no, I got hurt on the job, and it wasn't my fault. And they think of the 401 Pain.
411 Pain. If y'all listen to this, y'all owe us royalties. Y'all do it. Just give us a little bit.
Yeah, we're sponsored by 401 Pain.
I wish.
But
we only can get syndicated.
What was another one? Another local bad commercial that I absolutely used to fucking laugh at. It was that one where that white guy was pretending to be Homie the Clown. Yeah, I think this might be from the same car dealership. This white dude was pretending to be Homie the Clown, and like somebody would say something, and he would hit him with the sock. This is a real thing. I'm telling you, man.
It's not that I don't believe you. I'm just like.
People just be making everything.
I don't remember this at all. This sounds like memorable. This could either be either way. It can be very memorable or something so terrible that I suppress the memory.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I really do need to make like an actual playlist of like bad commercials, and just like have it like a public playlist like off of my YouTube channel,
with the Discord or something. Share it with the YouTube.
I think Mark would like that playlist. It seems to be in there. Like it seems to be in there.
If you could download it and curate and edit it, then we could put it on the YouTube channel for all y'all to see.
I don't know, cause the small businesses. So if they find out that we're like uploading this shit to like a different one, I think they might. They'd be like,
we cannot monetize it.
I mean, even if you demonetize it, I don't know. People probably still get pissed and be like, "That's free advertisement for you, though."
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it. So why would you get mad at us?
Oh, there's a good one from Gordon McKernan, the big lawyer.
Law firm.
Yeah, law firm. Yeah, it's him, and he's fighting. He's walking down like this little bayou strip. He's fighting an alligator.
What?
Yes.
Who approved of these?
I don't know. And it's so cartoony because like he fights the alligator and it comes up with a big dust cloud. It's like his boot in his fist. And then he makes alligator boots. Bro, it's so bad.
This is genuine laughter from him, you guys.
Oh shit, I'm tearing up a little bit. Oh man, it's just I love bad movies and bad commercials.
If we ever have a bad commercial, he's to blame.
Yeah, nah, I purposely wanted to do a commercial based off of I think it's Frankie and Johnny. It's this warehouse. It's this furniture warehouse out of New Orleans. I think they might have them in some other cities, but I know like they used to show the ones in New Orleans a lot. And it was the one I told you where the guy's like going down like the hall and he goes like, I say, get you a new TV, no money down. And like there's a cut to a guy and he says, and no problem.
I do remember that one.
Yeah, I really want to make that for our commercial. I think some people would get it. Other people would be like, man, what the fuck is this? But I think people will laugh at it.
Even the people that got it would still be like, well, what the fuck is this?
Like, bro, why are you referencing this? That's what they'd be like.
Why?
I want to, because my camera can shoot 4:3 too, aspect ratio. So I make it look like old and degraded through like third party software, and like it'd be like no problem.
I got the VCR filters and lines and shit.
My favorite part was the guy who was like, "You gotta ask the big man." He's like, "You gotta ask the big man." And he said, "Hello, man." It's just. I don't know why, man. It's just I remember just watching that shit as a kid and just laughing because I was like, bro, how the fuck you put this on TV?
It's called Small Business with low and
no
not
actors.
much budget.
Yeah, no actors. Yeah, I understand that, but the thing is that it's memorable. See, it works.
You did it? Are those
Yeah,
places still in town?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Frankie and Johnny's is still open.
Okay.
I remember with I think it was like Czech Soda. The one from Winn-Dixie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do commercials?
Yeah, Winn-Dixie, I think they did commercials, but this is when we had Mike Ditka as the the coach of the Saints.
I don't like his name.
He's a piece of shit anyway.
Goes with the name.
You know, we actually passed one of his spots in Chicago. He was like, he's a famous like Chicago player. I think he's from the Illinois area too. But there's a spot. And he was like, you know, he said, when I'm making groceries, I was like, no, automatically no, that's not your lingo. That's our lingo. That's Louisiana lingo. We say make groceries.
That brings me up a thing we say down here that I didn't really realize was a thing, but I think I had already thought about it, and I just like, okay, yeah, I see how that works. Talia was like, I don't understand why y'all say I gotta be somewhere for a certain time. I was like, huh, we do that. You notice that?
Yeah, I used to say tookin' all the time too. Tookin'. You know, like I took something.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to say tookin', and my mom, because she's an English major. She's got 2 degrees in English and writing. She used to say, it's taken in Kosi.
Yeah, she was like, why y'all say y'all gotta be somewhere for a certain time? I was like, probably because we need to be there before 12 or before 5 or whatever. So we just chop that shit up and be like, we need to be there before X, Y, and Z. It bothers me less now. You're welcome.
I'm still gonna say whatever I want because it is what it is.
It's ingrained in my vocabulary.
Yeah,
now.
I was gonna say I never make fun of her when she says pop for like, you know, cold drinks or soda. See, we say cold drinks.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, hers make more sense than ours. Anything could be a cold drink.
Yeah. Well,
according to people up north.
Yeah.
We
I was gonna say they just hold their mug out for like 2 seconds. It's a cold drink. I'm saying it's too cold up there.
Cold drink, that could be anything. No. When you cross this Mason-Dixon line,
everything becomes cold. as soon as it's like, oh shit.
I want root beer. I want a Coke. I want Fanta. That is a cold drink. We don't know what pop is.
There's a reason why they call them cold drinks also. It's the slang. So basically, a cold drink is just basically just, you know, like we said, soda, stuff like that. They call liquor hot drinks. Liquor and everything with alcohol in it. So that's why it's called a cold drink. So you guys learned something today.
Me too.
I know.
I just didn't question it. I was like, the old people that I grew up with called it cold drinks, and now it's what I'm calling it too.
Don't question it, just use it. Don't question it, just use it. It's like you put a hood over your head and just like going through life.
I left my tinfoil hat at home.
The reason why they call it cold drinks is because they put the common cold in the drinks, my brother. You gotta think of that.
Now, why do they call it pop?
They call it pop because they popped their guns up in Illinois and all in the Midwest.
Besides it being soda pop, I know it's a shorter form of that.
Yeah, obviously. But I think the funniest thing when we went up to Chicago is when I saw those dudes, because weed's legal in Illinois for people who don't know. When I saw those dudes outside in, what was it, like 20-degree weather, they're outside smoking weed. And like that shit just made me laugh so hard. I was like, bro, I'm like, I understand y'all live in this, but y'all smoking weed so bad that y'all gotta be in freezing temperature where you can like freeze meat out here and preserve it. No, I'll just wait. I'll be like, I'll just go and do it somewhere else. That food spot that we went to was nice though. That breakfast spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. I'll go back there.
Yeah, definitely. I'd probably try out like the waffles or something. They were so nice too. They're like, hey, how are you guys doing? Where are you from?
Mom and pop business. There was a place in Alabama when I went to that con called Metro Diner that had these Parlene cinnamon roll pancakes, I think it was. Oh, man,
you sound hyped as must have been good. If he's hyped as hell over something, then it must be good.
That shit was good. Dessert for breakfast, basically.
That does sound good. Shit, I want some Waffle House right now. I haven't had Waffle House in a while.
We named 2 mom and pop places.
Yeah, like one of the biggest chains in like the Southeast. I want some Waffle House.
I want some strippers and bags
of Coke.
What?
I ain't talking about the pop.
Strippers, dirty scenery, and decent breakfast.
Yeah.
Used to be cheap. Now Waffle House kind of expensive.
I don't know. I don't try and go to it as much. I just go there when I'm just like, man, I'm really craving it. Man, I had Waffle House up in Atlanta, and it was like cold as hell in Atlanta around the AWA, Anime Weekend Atlanta, for people who don't know.
For you non-weebs.
Yeah, for you non-weeaboos. So I went there. It was cold as hell because it was like around Halloween time because they started doing it Halloween weekend last year. And we got back to the hotel room. It was cold and it was still good. I don't know how Waffle House does it, man. Shouts out to them.
You know what freaks you out more about Waffle House? It's not the dirty ones. When you go to like those new renovated super cool lights and clean ones.
You can say gentrified ones. It's okay to say it. You can say gentrified ones.
Not exactly what I was thinking. But when you go to like a brand spanking new one they keep up.
Be like,
okay.
I think I will throw up.
Upscale ass Waffle House. Not used to this.
I remember seeing the Waffle House on Canal Street in New Orleans. It's like way farther down from like the popular area of Canal Street. And I was just like, man, that's like the swankiest looking like one I've ever seen. Bro.
So greet you at the door.
Bro.
Wipe your face with a napkin.
A napkin for the sir. But, bro, when I was at our hotel for CEO last year in Daytona, bro, when I looked out and I saw that Waffle House, I was like...
Everything on that strip is pretty much trash.
Yeah, but guess what? Waffle House wasn't on that strip.
I know. I'm just saying everything.
It was definitely in walking distance, but yeah, he's absolutely. Sorry, you continue.
No, you go on. Yeah, it's just trash.
Yeah, the only thing I got out of going to that place with the wings is that I was hitting on this. I couldn't tell if she was. I couldn't tell like what her background was, but I was hitting on this very attractive woman. That's the only thing I got out of it.
Yeah, besides that.
I like flirting.
But besides that, y'all need to work on that strip at Daytona Beach.
Right?
Food. It's trash. Yeah. Everything's just meh.
I'll tell you one thing. If I see a Blue Lives Matter flag outside your stuff, I'm not walking in. You're not getting my money. Like, straight up.
You had the Blue Lives Matter flag.
It was like one of those fucking... spots. Yeah, one of those local spots. I was like, man, what the fuck? And then they had like a Red Lives Matter flag too. I was like, that I'm not too mad about because firefighters, their job is to save lives. So I see some honor in that. Yeah, but we're not gonna get political. I don't wanna start this.
I'm about to say they're not taking any.
Yeah.
Unless they're just sitting out there while buildings on fire, smoking a cigarette. I'm like, in a minute. Save them! Oh, I'm on my break.
My job's so hard. I can't take it no more. All right, we're back.
Did you have another topic?
Me personally? Not really.
Yeah. I ain't come prepared.
I at least did my 2 points. We did the fad in video games and the bad commercials.
And then I did my part by rambling and just making us jump into multiple different other conversations that we weren't supposed to.
Shit, it carries it. That's the only thing that really matters. Yeah. You want to end it? I mean, it's almost like 50 minutes. I think that'd be good for a podcast.
Yeah, fine me.
All right.